Yeah, so like I was saying, um, Sydney is our guest.
Hi. My goodness.
That was
I
funny.
feel
Hi.
like I feel like anyway.
You learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
What can
You
you
do.
You
Life
learn?
learn.
teaches you
Mm-hmm.
lessons, you know?
You
Life teaches you
learn
Yep.
lessons every day, actually. Moment by moment.
moment
If
by
you paid
moment.
attention,
That's it.
you learn the things. And
That's true.
All right. So let me share this current live stream because it's real.
um
I forgot to talk about
well,
my Sabbath school class.
Oh,
do it right now. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. So, new new Sabbath school class for college students in particular that we're starting. My
mm.
dad and I,
Oh,
specifically for
that
college
sounds fun.
students. Yes, yeah, hopefully, right? So,
Yeah.
here's a flyer for it. It is a non-traditional class, and what we mean by
Mm-hmm.
non-traditional is we're not going to follow the lesson.
Right.
What we're trying to do is just answer questions, and we want college
Oh, you said
students to
the.
come and just ask questions that they have, and we'll seek the Bible and just try to help people live. That's kind of the goal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What time is it? Oh, it's from
Nine
9:40.
right
Oh,
there.
it's in
Nine
the morning.
45. It's Sabbath school time.
And
So
She
nine
said
forty
it's the
five.
morning.
oh,
Yeah, it's in the morning.
it's okay.
It's
No,
the Sabbath
I'll
school
be
class. So it's during
there.
Sabbath school time. 9:45 to 11:15, and of course church
Now
starts at
hold on a second.
11.
Let me ask you, can I ask a question?
Sure.
If it's a collegiate Sabbath school class and you're trying to attract college students, why can't you change the time?
Because it's going to interfere with church if we don't
Well,
have
don't
it
do
at
it
that time.
during church, obviously. You
Oh,
can't
in
do
the
it after
afternoon, you're
church?
saying?
Yeah.
You have to.
Why does it
I
have
guess
to be during church
that
or
could be a
before
thing
church?
after church.
Because if I
That
had
could
seen
be.
9:45, well, let me actually ask Sydney's reaction to, and tell us
Oh.
honestly, to a 9:45 time. Let me ask a different question.
9:45.
Welcome to the show, Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as a pastor's kid,
Mm-hmm.
did you have to go to Sabbath school growing
I
up?
did. I did have to go to Sabbath school growing up. I stopped going when I came to Oakwood, I'd say, like, but before I always went to Sabbath school because my dad always got there super early.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really have a choice but to go to Sabbath
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
school. Um, yeah, it was fun. And it also wasn't like depending on the church that I was at,
Right.
it was fun or not.
Right.
So yeah, it was something
But
all the time to
you said that when you were able to make your own choice when you got to
do.
college, you're not riding to school but to church with your dad anymore. You can kind of do what you
Yeah.
want. You stop going.
hmm
Why is that? Why'd you stop?
Um, I mostly stopped because it was too early in the morning.
Okay.
See?
And I'm not a morning person. I like to
Mm-hmm.
sleep
Yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely stopped going because of the morning. But I know that like at OUC, they don't have a specific Sabbath school for Oakwood students. It's more
Right.
Sabbath school for the adults.
Right.
And that is just the way they go about it just doesn't really interest me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just come towards the end of the service. But like if like something like the Sabbath school that you're doing for the, students, I would go to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but Oakwood just doesn't have
Even though
that.
it's in the morning, you'd still go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now
I
with the
think,
new rule, I have to be out in the morning anyways, so
Right.
it's
Right.
it's just like,
yeah, we need to talk about
why
that
not?
too. Well, we actually have a
We'll
lot to
talk
Yeah.
about some of
discuss.
the rules. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about some of the
We
rules
have a
for
lot
sure.
to talk about, guys.
We're very
Yeah.
interested in your perspective as a student, at the university
Yeah.
right now. Where like your opinion matters,
hmm
and the way you perceive things. You're the target audience, right? So
Yeah. Yeah,
what
literally.
what you're experiencing matters. So we won't
Yeah.
talk about everything. We don't want to turn this into a bashing session or anything like that. But a couple things we do want to
Your
mention.
assumption is that she's gonna bash. We don't know yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a
good
good
point
point.
too, but yeah.
I'm wondering because you said sometime, depending on what church you were at, it
hmm
was good or not. When you were enjoying
Yeah.
Sabbath school, what is it about that Sabbath school that you were enjoying? What made you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
So usually the Sabbath schools that I enjoy, like, okay, so my dad, he preached at a lot of churches, like big and small churches. So the bigger
Mhm.
churches had more youth and younger people at the
Okay.
church. And the smaller churches my dad went to, that we moved to, that we're currently at right now, a very, very small church. it doesn't have that many people. So because it doesn't have that many young people, and the bigger churches, I enjoy going to Sabbath school there because there were like a lot of young people my age, a lot of people to
Mhm.
meet and stuff like that. Like even the friends I have here at Oakwood right now, that are juniors, I've known them because of Sabbath school, and I knew them because they went to my old church in Canada. So I've known them for a really, really, really long time. But yeah, the small church I don't really enjoy because like I said, it's for the adults, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't resonate with me. So yeah.
So I've heard this before
Mm-mm.
from other, not students, but from other friends of mine that they enjoyed
Yeah.
Sabbath school because of basically the social aspect of Sabbath school. Their friends were there.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to hang out with their
Yeah.
friends. So it was less about, not that the programming, quote unquote, wasn't good, but they weren't going
Mhm.
for that. They were going to see their friends. And then also, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is actually cool in addition to that. So I think it's
Yeah.
interesting. Um, and I think it's great, actually, Paul, that you and Dad are filling a need, clearly, because if there's no, it's a college campus.
Right.
How is there no
Yeah.
Sabbath school class for college students? That doesn't really make any sense to me.
Makes
Right.
sense. Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are starting this, and I'm glad you're doing it the way that you're doing it, not following the Sabbath school lesson, because often the Sabbath school lesson doesn't have stuff in it for young adults. Like they're not really trying to talk about or learn more about, like, the symbolism of the sanctuary, for
Mhm.
example. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and when you
Yeah.
keep it open and just say you're just trying to answer questions, that's important because young adults at this age have tons of questions. And I hope that you guys answer. First of all, I hope the students ask provocative questions.
Right.
Right.
And I hope you and Dad answer those questions and don't, and I know you won't because I know you both, but I'm just saying that to me would make it interesting, even now as an adult, if people would,
Mhm.
if I felt safe to ask questions that I'm not supposed to ask.
Right.
And
Right.
then the
Right.
response that I got was just, hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I would love
Mhm.
to go to a class
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, but that
Let's talk
doesn't
it
always
out.
happen.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the flyer again real quick. So I want to point out a couple of things about the class. So it's called right now
Cover
because it
my
doesn't.
face instead.
I can't move it. Yes, I
Can
can.
you? Okay.
I can do anything. Hold on a second.
Sorry, I
Here
didn't
you
mean
go.
to interrupt you. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So young adult collegiate Sabbath school class. I just want to point out it's specifically for college students, right? So I've had a couple.
Right.
I posted this on Facebook and a little message about it, and I've had a few of my adult friends say, "Hey, can I come?" And my answer has been, "No, you're actually not invited.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, you're
not."
not
So
the target audience, and also
you're
your
not. So
presence is gonna
we
make it
want.
weird for
So one of
everybody
the
else.
things. I'm not trying to be rude, but one of the things that we want to avoid is we want to avoid too many cooks, right? We don't
Right.
want a bunch of biblical scholars in the room trying to answer the question. We'd rather have a
Right.
conversation
Mhm.
with one or two people sort of facilitating the conversation and let the Bible just kind of say what it wants to say, right?
Right.
Rather than having a bunch of
Yeah.
people who have a pre-existing idea come in with their own interpretations. We don't
Mhm.
want to do that. The second thing is
Yeah.
we want it to be about the students asking their questions. And you mentioned something, Claire, that made me think of this. That's why I put it back up here. Is just the safety, right? We want the students to feel
Mhm.
safe to ask their difficult questions, and we feel like the more sort of supervisory kind of presence that's in the room, the less likely that's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
more sort of adults and old people and stuff that are around, the less likely the students are going to just feel like, hey, I want to just ask this question, because when parents and stuff come to the room, we're like, oh, I don't want them to actually think I think this, so let me not say
Right.
anything. So
Right.
we're trying to
Yeah.
avoid that.
Yeah.
They're providing snacks. The university is giving worship credit.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that should be
Bring
on the flyer.
bring your friends, your college age
Oh.
your college age friends. Bring your friends.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be very successful. I already know.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it's a space, and I've said this for a while, and this is why we started this. I said this for a while, that I think church is like the place where we should be asking more questions, or we should be
Yeah.
empowered to ask more questions. It's the place where we hear some of the most confusing things we've ever heard in our lives, but there isn't a lot of
Mhm.
space for dialogue, right?
Mhm.
A lot of
Yeah.
times the presentation is one-sided. It's just a person talking and
Talking. Yeah.
using this extremely reliable source that we don't really understand. So let's just do it or don't do it. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
Say more words, but there are no more words. The service is over and you go home and you go eat. You end up discarding all of it because you can't process it. Right. So it's like, we want to kind of. Anyway, enough about me. This isn't about me. It's about Sydney. Sydney.
Hi.
I'm so excited. Let's talk about what you want to do for a living. So you're our second. We interviewed Gabby this summer when she had just graduated. So you're our second college age guest who's interested in acting professionally and is actually working towards that. Of course, she finished her degree in performing arts last year, and you're working on yours in your second year.
Yeah.
Talk about sort of the freedom, I guess, that you have to be able to study this, especially from your perspective as a PK. A lot of times, a lot of times we have to be, or we feel like we have to be a nurse or a teacher or a doctor, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So you're doing something totally different than that. So just what do you think?
Okay. I have a secondary question too. Did you have those pressures? I'm wondering if you felt the pressure to have those kinds of careers. So go ahead.
So to answer your question first, I felt the pressure to be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer, also because my mom and my mom's whole side of the family, they're all doctors and they're all nurses and they're all in that medical field.
Wow.
And then my dad's side of the family, my dad's a pastor, but then on his side of the family are more creatives. So having that like mix of both, I was so blessed that I got parents who are Caribbean, but they're also open-minded as well. So when I told my parents like I wanted to be an actor, because I never knew what I wanted to be. Like I wanted to be a whole bunch of things, and I was like, I don't have like when everyone was like, I want to be this, I was like, I don't really know what I want to be. And that's when I realized like, oh, I want to be an actor. Because now like I can't imagine myself being anything else. So when I told my parents like I want to be an actor, they were like, oh, okay, okay, why? And I was just telling them why I wanted to do it, and they were very supportive of it, and they took the steps to make sure that my dreams came true. Like they put me in like theater school. Like they're like, let's find a high school that's good with arts and stuff like that. And I really appreciate them for it because I know like a lot of traditional Christian people and a lot of traditional Caribbean people are more leaning towards the the academic and the nursing and the medical, and even my dad, like to this day, he still wants me to go to law school and get my law degree as well so that I can be an actor and a lawyer. So that's something me and my dad still even talk about to this day. But my mom, she's like fully on board with the acting side of things, But it's definitely been weird because in church, people aren't really supportive of that. And there's not a lot of space in church to do that, especially like as a pastor's kids. No one's really expecting like the pastor's daughter to be like, oh, I want to be an actor. And I wanted to be a model for a little bit, but there were a lot of church people that were like, oh, you can't model. You can't model because the industry is this and you can't do that. You're a pastor, you can't do that. So the church I've definitely felt the backlash from the church, specifically like bigger churches. But my parents are just so supportive. I think that's definitely what's helping me, because if they weren't, I don't really know how I would be going about pursuing my dream.
Yeah. I love
what do you love about acting?
Sure.
I love so much. It's like the thing about acting is you're telling a story by being someone else, which is so cool. It's like playing pretend, but on a like you're a professional, but you're playing pretend and you're doing things that regular humans can't. You're jumping over things, and just those aspects of acting is something that like I've always loved, because I always love to pretend to be. So not that I don't like being who I am, but it's just like cool to see different perspectives from life, and like, oh, I can be a doctor. Like I've always like, oh, I want to be a detective or a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer. Well, if I'm an actor, I can be a doctor and I can be a lawyer and I can
Good point.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
You can do all the things.
You can do all the things.
I could do all the things. Exactly. So yeah, that's what.
That feels like a really good stance to take. You didn't say that you and your dad disagree on whether or not you should go to law school. I just felt it, and I may have just made that up. But if you're an actor,
Uh,
at some point you're probably at least going to be doing some research on people who went to law school. So you'll still get it in.
yeah.
Still get it
I'll
in there.
still get it a little bit, yeah. But
Exactly.
that's just something me and my dad still discuss. It's still in discussion. It's not that we
Mhm.
disagree, but there are some moments
Right.
where he's like, law school is still an option. I'm like, but I want to be a full-time actor. He's like, yeah, but law school, and I'm just like, okay. So,
I
yeah,
love that. And of course, I've met your parents a few times. When you did
yes,
registration and stuff like that. I love how supportive they are. And I get
they
that from I don't
are.
know them that well, obviously, a
Hmm.
few short interactions, but I get what you just said from them. Like when we're there talking and stuff like that, there's no sense of, hey, try to talk her out of this, or
Mm.
is this
Yeah,
other thing better? None of that. It's just, hey, what does she need to
yeah,
do? Show us
yeah.
what she needs to do.
Especially
Let's
my
get her.
mom. Yes.
Let's get her signed up. You said she needs that book. Where's the book? Over at the okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to the bookstore, and and they'll make the whole plan for what they're gonna do the rest of the day, and
Yeah.
they'll map it out, and then they'll leave, and I'll
Yep.
see them next
That's my
semester, and they'll do it
parents.
again. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's
Yep,
just
that's them.
they're just like on the journey and supporting you through the journey,
Hmm.
which is amazing. What
Yeah.
sucks though is that it's not like that in the church too.
No, it's
And
Right.
not.
ideally, it would be both, right? Ideally, at home and in church,
Yeah.
there would be some agreement there, and the church would be able to just support the family as the family does what's right for the
Mhm.
student,
Right.
instead of the church having their own set of whatever expectations or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I don't know.
So
They're very.
I'm wondering, Sydney, growing up, if you had any
Mhm.
sense of what was behind the discouragement
Mm.
from church people
Mhm.
for you to go into acting. Did they ever? Actually, they may have just said it point blank to you, but
Yeah.
where do you think that might be coming from, just from your own experience?
So I think a lot of where it's coming from is when they look at the entertainment industry or they look at like the acting space, they don't see a lot of positive representation of
Mm-hmm.
Christians or Seventh-day Adventists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so they have this kind of mindset where it's like you're Christian, so you fit into this box because that's the only way that you can be a good Christian. And even like I've been told, even when I was really leaning into law way long time ago, they're like, oh, you can't be a lawyer. Like I've actually had someone tell me you can't be a lawyer because lawyers lie, and that's not according to the Ten Commandments. And I was like, what?
Wow.
That's such a cuckoo thing. That's such a cuckoo mindset to have. And
Right.
so they just haven't seen good representation of Seventh-day Adventist people or Christian people for that fact. So they're just like, oh, well, Christians can't thrive in this space because of the devil and da da. And it's like, I, I try to see where they're coming from, but it's my passion and I can't really see because it's like if you have that relationship with God, you know, all of the outside stuff, it doesn't matter. So I should already have a strong relationship with God going into acting in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
so there's
Right.
no even room for the devil to even have that space in my head. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they just believe Christian people should like fit in this box, especially older people.
Mm-hmm.
They just believe, yeah, they can't go outside because then you're deviating from God. It's like that's not how that works though.
And really, what that's also
It's
saying is that God is not everywhere,
Right.
exactly.
and it's also saying that the devil is only in certain places,
Right.
Yeah.
and neither of those things
Neither
is
one of those
true
things is true.
Neither one of
at
those
all.
things is true at
So,
all.
do
Yeah.
what you're passionate about, period. You're gonna come
Yeah.
across evil and good no matter what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
No
So
matter
just
what you're
do
In
what's
every
in
doing.
your heart and
profession.
do it.
In
Yeah,
every profession.
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah.
We actually had a guest on our show. She actually came on the show twice this summer. One of our favorite
Hmm.
people. Her name is
Mhm.
Shannon Holt. She was a professional model.
Hmm.
She's retired now.
Oh, nice.
She doesn't have to be retired. She chooses to be retired. She could still
Right.
work.
Right.
She told us on the show. She keeps getting calls, and she's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." So, but yeah, she modeled. She was
Hmm.
on what was that show, Claire?
Project
Project Runway.
Runway?
She's on Project
She's on
Runway,
2. She's
Oh,
on 2
cool.
shows.
That's really cool.
She
and
does a bunch of
she does
stuff.
a bunch
She's
of
a
stuff.
DJ, she's a
Right.
singer, she's a musician, she's a model,
Wow.
she's an actress. She does all the creative things,
Just
all of them.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
so check
absolutely.
out
That's
check
cool.
her out on Club
I
PK. I
will.
don't remember what episodes they were, but Shannon Holt is her name. Shannon spelled with an
Yeah.
E at the end, and
I will.
that might be it might be interesting because you said you wanted to be a model at one point. So let's talk about modeling for a second. So
Yeah.
you want to be an actor now. Great. I'm glad. I'm not trying to get rid of you. I would
Yes.
like for you to stay in the program, right? But why not modeling? Why did you abandon that sort of idea?
Why did modeling, because it wasn't really a passion of mine.
Okay.
It wasn't something I loved doing. It was just something I was always told that I could do.
Oh, okay.
Like people, even since I was young, people were like, you could be a model, you can model. And at that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
So it's like everyone's telling me that I could do this thing. And it's like, I always knew I wanted to be in the creative space. So I was like, it's
Mhm.
close enough to being in that creative, non-traditional like space. So maybe yeah, I could model because people keep saying I can. So I guess like I can. And then that was like a thing for a little bit. And then I was like, no, that's not what I
Mhm.
it's not what I want to do. And then I discovered that I love writing and I love acting. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So,
Yeah, and we know this very often. You know, people who are on screen end up being spokespeople for companies and all that kind of stuff, and they end up modeling anyway.
yeah.
Right.
Anyways, exactly.
Somebody wants to hire you to promote a fragrance or something, you're gonna have a photo shoot, and now you're modeling. You know, so
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
like, come
Right.
about
Like,
anyway. So yeah,
so
that's interesting.
yeah.
I didn't know that about you. That you wanted to be a model. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm always curious. I asked this to Shannon too. Like what? But I think you just answered it. People could just keep telling you this, and it's kind of what she said too.
Yeah.
But I'm just interested in what makes someone want to have a profession in being good looking.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what kind
Yes,
of what
yeah.
kind of self-confidence do you have to even have to be
Right.
like, you know what? I could be pretty
could be
for
a
a
model.
living.
Right.
I could do this, you know.
Exactly.
My face could sell, yeah.
Yeah. My face is kind of amazing. People should pay me to stand still and
And
look
just
at
Or walk, you
the
know.
camera or walk and look
Yeah.
at
or walk, right.
yeah.
That's really funny.
And
I'm
then
glad
the
that
other thing
you
about being I love the area we're in because there's a lot of
Mhm.
I think good examples of actors and like producers and writers and stuff like that, creative people who are Seventh-day Adventists and are kind of
Yeah.
doing their thing at a high level. Danita Jones is an example, killing it.
Yeah.
You know, got a new cartoon coming out on Friday, and you know, puts on a play like twice a year. I mean, like all kind of stuff is going on, and she's
Yeah.
extremely a 7
Yeah.
minutes. So I mean, it's like so there's definitely space I think for you and
Right.
Yeah, there is space.
There's
There is
plenty,
space.
actually.
There's plenty of space.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm glad you're not discouraged. Well, really, the biggest thing I think is I'm glad your parents are so supportive because really, if your parents are just very much in your corner like yours obviously are, it makes it a lot easier to deal with people who are not as close to you being
Exactly.
negative or haters or whatever they are. If church members, it's like,
Exactly.
okay, whatever, I'll see them once a week. When you're at school now,
Whatever.
you see them like twice a year. So it's like,
No,
it's like forget
yeah.
that.
My
You know.
parents, yeah, they don't like that like at all. Like I remember there was one time that I first decided I want to be an actor, and my dad's friends came to visit, his longtime friends, and they were just like, "Oh, she can't be an actor." And they were just telling my dad that, I don't think your daughter should be an actor, all these things basically. And I just remember not ever seeing those people again. I was like I just remember that because I was like, that's so. Because I looked at them, I was like, that's so weird of you to say. I mean, I was
Right.
like, you don't have to talk back to them. Just leave the room. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember like bringing it up to my dad like a couple years later. I was like, what happened to those guys that were like in church that one time and said I couldn't be? He's like, oh, we're not friends anymore. And I'm like,
wow.
If that ain't loyalty, I don't know what is.
okay.
That's amazing.
But I like that. I don't want that kind of energy around my kid. Like, go away.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's good. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're not friends with them anymore.
Right.
Shoot.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Speaking of modeling and like accidental modeling, meaning like a product will want you to model for them. We actually have a product that we're going to show you a commercial for right now because it's good timing. And I'm trying my best to segue into it. This is how I'm choosing to do it. Paul's just staring at me, giving me no help.
No, that was good. I was waiting for you to try to mumble and stumble your way through it.
I tried my best.
You did good. All right, so we're going to take a real quick commercial break. And we'll be right back with more from Future Star. We'll talk about how Sydney's a star in a minute. future star Sydney Wilson.
This episode of Club PK is brought to you by Ezekiel's Cocoa Butter, the only moisturizer with a dollop of food cooked over human waste added to it to demonstrate God's irritability with your irresponsible ash.
We are created in God's image, and He wants our skin to shine for His glory, not to look like we've just entered into the valley of dry bones.
With just a pinch of ECB, you'll be as greasy and slick as a baby seal. Say goodbye to those ashy knees and elbows.
And for a limited time only, you can buy ECB with an extra heaping of dung to really obliterate your ashen habits. It's only an extra $30. Just use the code GIVEMETHEWICTORY, that's GIVEMETHEWICTORY at checkout to get your droppings.
That's right, for a limited time only, you can buy ECB with an extra heaping of dung to really obliterate your ashen habits. And it's only an extra $30. Just use the code GIVEMETHEWICTORY, that's GIVEMETHEWICTORY at checkout to get your droppings.
Ezekiel's Cocoa Butter. Escape from the valley of dry bones.
I feel
really
like
happy with our
we-
sponsors, really
So
pleased
creative.
with.
I feel like that ad, I wish that ad had integrated the word guano in there somewhere. I'm just thinking about it now. But it didn't do it.
Guano,
Didn't
that
do
would have
it.
been good.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Been-
Yeah, thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate you. So yeah, let's get back to Cindy. Go ahead, Paul. What were you going to say about her stardom, her impending stardom?
Yeah, so Sydney's really good. So when we did what was the one we did last semester?
Not my fault.
Not my flight. So one thing we do in our program
Okay.
is when we have a new member, we
Yeah.
give them a lead role almost immediately. So it's like, so what are your first shows with us? You're going to be the lead.
Yes.
So just
Yeah.
trial by fire. Get out. You have to perform.
Yep.
Get out there and figure it out. You're not like when you're the lead, and you can attest to this, Sydney. When you're the lead, you're not allowed to have stage fright. For example, the show
No.
doesn't work if you're not on it. It doesn't work.
No, it
Right.
doesn't work.
You cannot not know your lines. You can't not know your marks. None of it. You can't. You have to be on top of it if you're the lead. So we gave her the lead role. And Gabby was the director. Actually, it was her senior project. She wrote and directed the show, which we talked about on her episode.
Yeah.
And Sydney was the lead. Sorry, Sydney was the lead.
Mhm.
And she just did really well. And one of my friends came to town. Ricky was in town when we were staging the play, and he came out to see it. And about 5 minutes into the show, he texted me, and he said, "I can't remember what the description was. He didn't know your name. It might have been the clothes you had on, the girl in the blue, or something like that." He was like, "The girl in the blue was dope."
Oh.
It was like 5 minutes into the show, and he was like, "Oh, she's good," right? And then it just gets, and then it gets better. And then obviously this too. The more you're on stage, the more you're in the role, the more you are comfortable, the better you get, and all that kind of stuff. And then the next show is always better than the previous one. And all
Better,
those things.
yes.
So my wife.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So I just see a bright future. I just see a bright future.
Oh, thank you so much. Makes me so happy.
Had you had a lead role before that play in anything?
In anything big production, like a big production like that, no. I've
Or
been
even
on
small.
stage. Oh, well, yeah. I went to a theater school, so it wasn't a theater school, but it had a theater program, and
Mhm.
I was in Clue. They put on Clue, which is like a murder mystery play, and I was Mrs. White, so I had a nice part there. And we didn't really do a lot of plays, like big plays like that. So, not really. Only really Clue and Not My Flight were the only productions really on stage. But I've always done like scene work and that type of stuff. But those were really
Mhm.
the only productions that I've been on stage for. Yeah.
Nice.
It was really fun. It was great. I had a great time on Not My Flight.
That was
So much
a
fun.
lot of fun. I really enjoyed
That was
not
a
being
lot
in
of
charge. It
fun.
was fantastic.
It was
What was
great.
your role, Paul, if you weren't in charge?
Say it again.
What was your role?
I was like the guardrails. I was
Okay.
let's make sure that the car doesn't careen off the road. So it
Okay.
was just kind of like, it was kind of like virtual VP. So
Yeah.
being a vice principal is you're in charge of kind of everything else. Whatever is not taken care of, go do it.
Other principal, yeah.
Hmm.
So that was kind of what I did. I just, and then so between every rehearsal, the director and I would talk. So she would come to my office, and she was in class, play directing class.
Mm-hmm.
But her play is her play, right? So she'd come to my office, and we would literally talk through what the next rehearsal would look like, what she should do,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. I'd be like, hey, you should tell this actor this, and you should tell that actor that, and she would internalize that, process it, and do it her own way, which is
Right.
fantastic. So during
Yeah.
rehearsal and during performances, I got to watch, and
That makes sense.
I was in charge of lights and sound during the actual show, during
Hmm.
performances.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I want
Mm-hmm.
to ask not crazy question, but just kind of a,
Yeah. Of
juicy
course.
maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Go ahead.
Um, how have you rebelled in your life? Because
Oh,
you talked about there's been pressure and stuff, and there's been sort of
yeah.
people telling you to do things, and how have you kind of reacted
Rebelled.
against that, against some of those things?
Mm, how have I rebelled? The thing is, I'm not a very rebellious person. So when people tell me not to do something, I don't usually do it.
Okay.
Um, but if I have, I guess you could say I've, jeez, 'cause I don't really rebel, but I do notice that like in church with certain things, I do catch an attitude very easily.
Mm,
So I guess you could count that as rebelling. Like I will catch an attitude very easily with certain church people, or I just want to do things in the church because of the church environment.
right.
So like sometimes my dad will ask me to do something, I'll be like, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not working for this person. I'm not doing that. Like I do catch an attitude very easily. But in terms of like rebel, like do something like I shouldn't have, not really. Like
Not
I'm
really.
pretty like I'm a pretty like I'm a pretty yeah person.
Straightforward.
I'm just like straightforward. Like you know I don't
Is
really
there
have
is there
any.
anything
Sadly, I don't
about
have any secrets or anything like that for real.
is there anything about the culture surrounding being a PK
Yeah, yeah.
that, like growing up a PK, that either bothered you or caused you some kind of internal turmoil, or
Mhm.
not even or, and is there anything about the culture of growing up in a PK environment that you just absolutely loved and
Mm,
like you never want it to end,
mm,
or anything like
Mm,
that?
yeah. So, okay. So, for the what I love part, I love being a pastor's kid. You get a lot of free food, and that is just, it's just every church you get free food. And I
oh
hope
man.
that never ends. I love the free food, and it's always so amazing. It's amazing. And just like a bunch of perks and privileges in the church, like I get to use my dad's office when I need to. I can put my stuff there. I can sleep there. I can rest there. I have access to this room other people don't. So like little perks and things I absolutely love. And just people being like, okay, you're the pastor's daughter. You're number one priority. That makes me so happy. But like, things that surround the pastor's kid. I think like going back to the rebellious question, like I think that stigma that like, oh, pastors' kids are like they always turn out to be like crazy or they're just like,
Mm,
wild. Like because I wasn't like that, I was like, oh well maybe, maybe I'm not as exciting. Like maybe I need to do more exciting things and stuff like that. Maybe my life is like kind of boring because my life is a little boring. But I was like, maybe I need to feed into that stigma more and stuff like that. And it just like changed the way a lot of people perceive me, even coming to Oakwood. They're like, oh, you're a pastor's kid? It's like, it's not like that. Um,
Mhm.
and like the way that we're seen like that. And also this thing where it's like pastors' kids have to be, well, there's that side of it where like pastors' kids are doing the most. There's also the side of where pastors' kids have to be perfect.
right.
And
Mhm.
that is just the side that I don't like at all either. Like even in the church, it's like, oh well, she doesn't really fit into this box. She just doesn't really do this thing, you know. she makes mistakes. She's very rude. I'm a very nice person, but like I said, I do like catch attitude very
Catch
easily. Some
attitude quick.
people, it's
You
like,
sound like
oh,
me. Oh
she's
no.
rude, oh, like this, and yeah. So I've definitely had my clashes with people thinking that of me as well, and that just I'm not the extroverted, loud PK that they would expect. I'm very quiet. I'm very to myself. I'm cool with my friends, but if I don't really know you, I'm very reserved.
hmm
So they're just not expecting that. And it kind of makes me feel like I have to push, like maybe I need to be more extroverted, but it's like, no, it's okay. I could be introverted. I could sit in the back. I don't have to sit in the front and stand up during praise and worship and all that stuff. So yeah.
And when you said that you live a boring life, the first thing that I thought was, oh, she's probably at peace all the time. It just sounds like peace to me. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, there's nothing
so
wrong with that.
yeah.
So that's what I wanted to just kind of encourage you and say, it sounds like you're already doing it, but just I want to encourage you and say, you don't have to lead praise and worship, for example,
Yeah,
because you're the pastor's daughter. That's it's
exactly.
nonsense. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't. And again, it sounds like you're already not doing this, so that's great. But you should not let being the child of a pastor impact how you worship in public, for example. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
be yourself.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah.
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 So that's great. I love that you're. But I'm curious about. I don't want to make this about your brother, but I'm curious about your
Of course.
brother and if he's
Mm-hmm.
similar to you in that way, or if he's a little bit different. Is he a little more extroverted, kind of upfront?
My brother is very different to me. I'm very bubbly, and well, actually, that's a lie. I'm not always bubbly, but when I want to be, I can be bubbly. But I'm introverted, but I'm very like smiles. Like when I smile, I do like I smile, all this stuff. My brother, he's not like that. My brother is very honest. He's very brutally honest. If he doesn't like you, it'll be very clear he does not like you. If he doesn't want to do something, my brother will not do it. And that's also because he's the youngest, because parenting, my parents just changed a little bit after I got to a certain age. Like I'm gonna say around 2020, there was like an incident with my mom. So my whole family dynamic shifted and my brother had to become more dependent earlier than I did. And
Mm.
so he is very straightforward. He will tell you how it is, like it is. He is that one guy, like you'll tell him, "Hey, Isaac, can you come do prayer?" And if he doesn't want to do it, he will look you in your eyes and be like, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. So he's a very different person than me. Well, he's in high school now. He's in grade 10 now. So all his rebellious years, I'm kind of in like Oakwood, so I can't really see. But when I do go back for the summer, I see like he is definitely a little bit more rebellious than I am. But that's just because like the guidelines and the parental vision on him is a little bit more lenient. And my dad, he's super busy. My mom, she's in the house all the time. So there's no one, like I have to be the one to get in the car and go pick him up when he's supposed to be home, but he's not home yet. So yeah, he's very different. He's very different. Yeah.
I feel like that birth order is real.
It is real.
It comes just with a
real.
lot of different
Yeah.
responsibilities and different responses and different expectations just
Yeah.
because you're the first or the second or the third or the fourth. That kind of stuff is always interesting to me. And when you're
Yeah.
describing your brother, I was exactly like that. When I was younger, if I didn't want to do something, you literally couldn't make me do it.
What do you mean when you were younger?
Yeah.
Shut up. Anyway,
I'm trying to figure out how
and
right now is different.
I remember
from
I
what
remember
you're
being
talking about.
confused, like as I got older and started to experience different kinds of people. I remember being confused about, hey, Dr. Prigg. I remember being confused about why women would have a hard time saying no about stuff. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I was like,
Right.
women don't say no?
Right.
I was like, I feel like I came out of the womb and was like, no. Like
No.
I'm not going under the heat lamp.
I'm not crying. Smack me as many times as you want.
Stop.
I'm not crying. Stop hitting me.
I feel like I've had a no spirit the whole time. But I'm the youngest, just like your brother. And I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder if that's
Yeah,
also just a part of my birth order. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. And maybe my parents were just
yeah.
tired by the time they had the third. So they were
It's
like, well,
yeah.
she don't want to do it. So, oh, well, I don't know.
You
That's
know, yeah,
interesting.
exactly. That's exactly how those are
So,
frustrated. You know what,
so you
it's
were,
okay.
so you were, and this might be similar too for you guys, Sydney. I'm not sure if you know, but Claire was the youngest, obviously, also the only
Mhm.
girl, and
Mm.
a decent gap between the two of us. I'm second,
Yeah,
she's third, and we're 4 years apart.
yeah.
So, back in the '80s, that's a long time. So,
It is
so,
like
so Claire was deliberate. Claire was planned. Claire was intentional.
Mhm.
Claire was what they wanted. They wanted a
Right.
girl. Like, let's try one more time. They got what they wanted,
Yeah.
right? So, with all that in
Yeah.
mind, we're from my parents' perspective, we're finished having kids. So this is our baby. This is our only girl.
Mhm.
All that
Yep.
stuff. So she's the baby, and you kind of treat her like the baby, and all that kind of stuff. So Claire
Yeah.
kind of gets what she wants, and all those
Yeah.
the youngest sort of things. I wonder if it's
My
similar for
brother.
your parents, because you guys have
It
one boy
is.
and one girl, and then your
Yep.
brother's the youngest. So I wonder if it's like you
Mhm.
guys, they have maybe the first child, they don't care what the gender is. The second child, they want a boy to even it out. They get it. Oh, we're done now. This is our
Yeah,
baby,
we're
and this is the
done.
youngest, and
Yep.
something. I wonder if that's. I wonder if I made
That's
that up just now.
exactly what
That's
happened.
what happened.
Nope, nope, that's exactly what happened. No, yeah, because I wanted a little brother, so when I got a little brother, they're like, all right, that's all. And then
Wow.
Yeah, here you
now my
go.
mom just
Let's pack it
spoils
up.
him. Yeah. Yeah.
How far apart are
So
you guys?
we're 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
4
Okay,
years.
Yeah.
same.
You guys get
Nice.
along?
When we were younger, we didn't, but now we do because we relate on a lot of the same stuff where we could talk about stuff that we both done. Like we could watch anime together, we could watch YouTube
Mm-hmm.
together, be like, oh, did you see what this streamer did?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about
Mm-hmm.
that type of stuff. But when we were
Mm-hmm.
younger, we did not get along at all.
Right.
At all. It was really bad, actually. It was
Yo, this
terrible.
is interesting
Like,
because, like, samesies.
terrible.
Me
It
and
was
Paul
so
didn't start
bad.
being friends till my oldest brother John left for college, and then me and Paul started getting along.
Right.
So that means,
I was 16.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
most of our childhood we did
1 to
not get along at
16, we
all.
kind of fought all
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
Not kind of fought. We physically
Mm-hmm.
fought all the time.
Physically, yes, bro.
We did not get
Yeah.
along, which is so
At
weird to think
all.
about now because we're so close now.
Right. It's the
It's
opposite
like
now.
things
Right.
like completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
So
times.
that's how it
just
is. That's how
on
we
this
were
being
there.
the oldest thing, right?
Mhm.
Because you're the only oldest on the screen right now. Is there an added pressure to like get things right or to make fewer mistakes or
Mhm.
whatever, like because you're an example for your brother? Does that figure into your kind of reasoning at all?
Um, yeah, there is like there's always this pressure to be the best and to be better and to do things. Like I got my driver's license pretty late. Like I really would have preferred to get it sooner, only not to just help out my mom, but to help out my brother as well, like driving him around because that was like a lot of pressure on my dad when my mom couldn't, when my mom can't, but at that time when my mom was stopped, she stopped driving. So it was a lot of pressure on my dad. So if I got my driver's license sooner, if I'd done this better, like there a lot of that I still feel like, especially in high school. And my brother is he's just more academically smarter than I am.
Mm.
So there's just certain things where it's like, wow, he's like really good at that, but like I feel like I should be good at that because I'm the oldest. But then I'm like really proud of him because like, you're gonna be so great. Like I know my brother's gonna be whatever he does, he's gonna be really good, and I already know like. But yeah, just that pressure to be a good example, especially when we didn't get along, I still had to be a good example for him. Where it was like,
Mm.
okay, it was more like my parents, like, okay, do this because you're an example for Isaac, and Isaac is watching you, and your little brother is watching you, so you gotta
Mhm.
be on it. But yeah, so definitely felt that pressure for sure, but more to get things done, to be there to help my brother more.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But
That sounds like a very healthy way to process that pressure.
yeah,
Kind of channel it into
yeah, into
being helpful
things,
to another
yeah,
person, which is always
yeah,
positive, I would say.
I know nothing about that
yeah.
life, so
Right. Well, I
at
don't really
all.
either. It wasn't really like that for me either. So I never felt like
Yeah,
I had to be an example because I have an older brother. So,
Mhm.
right.
if I didn't feel like Claire was looking at me, I always felt like Claire
Mhm.
was looking at him. so then I could
Right.
just do whatever I wanted.
Do
So I
whatever you
never,
wanted. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
which
man.
is very
Sometimes I
freeing.
wish I was the oldest, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
Let
I'm
other
glad
people
I'm
crumble.
not the oldest.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little too much for me. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that a church member? Is there anything wild like a church member has said to you that was just like out of pocket?
Out of pocket.
Like I can't believe they just said that to me.
Out of pocket. Yeah, there have been a lot of things, but I think the one thing, like I mentioned earlier, was the guys that were in my dad's office. Like when I said, they said, "What do you want to do?" I was like, I acted like, "Oh, you can't be an actor." I was like, "Why?" They're just like, "Christian people can't act." And I was like, "Oh."
And they sound so sure of themselves. I would love, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's such
Like,
nonsense.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like
But
I
matter
feel
of
like
fact,
that was pardon?
who was the actor? Wasn't it Ezekiel? Wasn't Ezekiel basically an actor?
Ezekiel, Isaiah too.
Who am I thinking about?
Isaiah probably.
When the Lord was like, act this thing out to the people. He was literally
Ezekiel
an
and
actor.
Isaiah. Isaiah walked around
Yeah.
naked for 4 years.
Yeah. So I'm just like, there are actors
It's
literally in but the Lord commanded people to act all the time. So how can you
it's
even say
crazy.
you can't be an actor? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
tripping on somebody just coming at your passion like that. Right?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
like, I'm a young person, I'm a teenager, whatever, I'm a kid. I want to do this thing, and somebody's like, "Nah, you can't do that." What? Who are you talking about?
Yeah,
Who the
like
heck
it
are
has
you?
a lot of audacity. Like church people have a lot of audacity. I feel like someone telling me that is definitely ingrained in my mind and is what I'm gonna hold with me. Like I remember this person, they said that. Like people have said mean things like, "Oh, you're too skinny." I get a lot of body comments as well, but that comment specifically is like, yeah, I'm gonna remember that.
Does that kind of thing
And that's just
motivate
the
you, or is it
motivation
like,
you need.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
We actually
So it's
have a
gonna work for your
question.
good.
We have a question from the
Mhm.
audience,
Oh, do we?
Oh,
so I'm going to take it. Dr. Prig, are people surprised
Nice.
when they learn you are a PK?
you are PK. Yes, people are surprised when they learn I'm a PK. They are like really surprised. Like
Because
I'll
you're
be
not
like, I'm a
evil.
pastor's kid. They'll be like, really? And
You're
I'm
not
like,
wild.
yeah. Yeah, because I'm like not wild. So like, really, you're not a pastor's kid? I'm like, no. Like, yeah, well, yeah, I'm a pastor's kid. Like my dad's a pastor. And they're like, who's your dad? And I'm like, this is my dad. And it's surprising how many of the pastors like know each other. Like the pastors, when I talk to other PKs, their dad knows my dad to some extent or whatever. And they're like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't know you were a pastor's kid. And I'm like,
Well,
and
they'll
then
go to these meetings and stuff, and it'll be just the 20 of them or whatever in the same room for
Right.
all these guys know each other.
yeah, they all know each other for some reason. But yeah, people are very surprised but I'm not surprised when I hear other people are PKs.
Right.
When I see people act a certain way and they're like, I'm a PK, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then when people are just like normal and they're like, I'm a PK, I'm like, really? Okay, I can see that too. So,
That's funny.
yeah.
Let's do the 7, Paul.
Say again?
Let's do the 7.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're running out of time. I want to ask you a random trivia question. That was an hour, right? You didn't think it was?
Oh, it was an hour.
Yeah,
Was
it's
it?
been an hour.
Yeah.
It always goes by fast.
It goes by fast, yeah.
Super fast.
But I want to ask you a random trivia question.
Okay.
And let's just see.
We've only had, I might be lying, more than one person has gotten trivia right?
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2, yeah, very few. Because these are really random questions that
very random.
Very
random. There's no way to prepare.
No pressure.
For this.
Oh gosh.
You'll notice that when we sent you the email describing what the show would be like, we didn't include random trivia in the
No.
There's literally no way to prepare for this. We don't tell you what's coming. Okay, here it goes. Canada produces most of the world's maple syrup. That's not a question, that's a statement. Here's the question.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. No, I know it's true. Here's the question. About what percentage of the world's maple syrup does Canada produce annually? And we'll accept plus or minus 5%. So if you're close, we'll give it to you. So about what percentage of the world's maple syrup does Canada produce annually?
I feel like 65.
65
That's such a good guess.
is a good guess. 65 is a good guess.
That's a very good guess.
It's actually just outside of our 5%.
It's just outside.
Oh
like
my
God!
You're so close.
Yeah, you're really close.
You're so close.
Oh
we'll
my
give
goodness.
it to you as a correct answer.
Yeah. why not?
Okay, okay,
We'll say that's correct.
okay.
So
Okay, wow.
71% is the answer.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
71,
you're
yeah.
you're 6%,
Which is crazy. 71% is a
Wow.
lot.
71% is bananas.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew
Yeah,
Canada was
Canada's
known for
great.
maple syrup, but not like that.
Yeah,
didn't know
we
it was
get the
known for maple
pure
syrup
maple
like that.
syrup.
You didn't know it
Mhm.
was known for maple syrup?
I mean, you know.
Okay.
No, yeah, Canada
guess-
has that pure, like, it's weird when I come down to America and get the American maple syrup. I'm like, oh, this is not
Oh,
like
it's what?
Canadian syrup at all. It's really bad. I can't lie.
Oh, wow.
It's really
So
bad.
I buy pure maple syrup. I don't buy like
Mhm.
the high fructose corn syrup stuff.
Yeah,
But
that
I
one's
wonder
not
if
good.
even the pure
Yeah,
maple
not
syrup
good.
I'm getting isn't up to your standards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the maple syrup, like it's expensive, but you get the pure one in Canada.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's
Like
that's
it's
different.
like
That's a different
it's different good.
product.
It's like I could just drink the whole bottle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if there
It's
are
really,
Canadian
really
brands. There got to
good.
be Canadian brands in the store of maple syrup down here, right?
Yeah, there are, I'm sure.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know with your president and stuff, but
Well, yeah.
before, I'm sure there are now.
Yeah, she said
There
your
were
president. Dang.
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? I heard it too. I heard it too.
I don't know.
Let's make this our last question. How do you feel being
Yeah.
able to say Donald Trump is not my president? How's that?
It makes me so happy. So happy. Whenever America is having issues, I'm just like, I could just go back to Canada. I don't have to deal with that. I don't
That
have
ain't my
to
business.
associate at all.
That's
It
hilarious.
makes me super happy. But I do have to pay attention because Canada and America are very close. So
Mhm.
sometimes whatever they do will leak over into whatever Canada is doing. So I still have to pay attention to the news and what's going on. But for the majority, like for the most part, it's like Canada's good over here for now. we got our own things to worry about. Like
Right.
we don't worry about that right now.
People are trying to
But
escape to
yeah.
Canada, but you
You know what I'm
go
saying?
home.
Right? It's really expensive there, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's super, super expensive.
Is that based on where you live in Canada, or is that kind of the countries sound a little bit more expensive than what
No,
you've seen?
it's like where I live is expensive, but overall, like Canada, Toronto specifically is getting more expensive. Like the minimum wage is 20, like it's pushing up to $21, the minimum wage, because it's too expensive to
Right.
like get below that, earn below that.
Right.
So when I come here and I'm
Wow.
like, well, you're working at Main Event, they're like the minimum wage is like $12. I'm like, oh, like in Canada it's like $21, but that's because it's so expensive over there. It needs to
But
be, the
also,
minimum wage has
$12
to
is
be
still
high.
not enough for here. $12 is crazy.
Yeah.
Bananas.
I think the federal
Yeah.
minimum wage is actually still $5.75. I don't think it's changed in like 25
That's
years.
crazy. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Don't quote me on that. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's
Right.
I think it's really low. One more question
No,
from
that's
the
insane.
crowd.
Mhm.
We're gonna let you go. But here's
Oh,
here's
so
the last
good.
question.
Yeah, this one's important.
What'd you say?
This one's important.
When are you going to visit Canada? I would like some maple syrup. I will.
I'm going over the winter break. I'm going over the winter break.
There you
But
go.
I will
Winter break
bring
you're going?
some
All right.
back. I'll bring some back.
So we'll load you
Yep.
up with cash.
Yeah.
And you
And
can
I
bring
will bring it
bring
back.
back like a gallon of maple
sure.
syrup, and we can distribute it on campus or something.
No,
Divvy
for
it
real.
up.
I really will. I really will. Like the pleasure's all mine. I will.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
This is
for
a great
joining us. Yeah,
conversation.
that was great.
Sure.
It was fun.
Guys, this was so fun. Oh
And
my
we also
God.
like good luck with, I don't even want to say good luck. Like I'd rather say I'm looking forward to hearing more about your success, because it's
Thank you.
it's happening right now. It's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that in the future for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a
I'm so
show.
excited.
We got to play this fall, and Got one in
Yep.
the spring that I haven't told you about yet.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, you'll find out later.
yeah, you'll find out later. But we're
Nice.
working. We're
Yeah,
working.
we are.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Thanks for your time,
Nice.
Sydney. We'll see
Yes.
you
This is fun.
Monday. No, Sunday.
Yeah.
We got movie
No.
night on Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, we got movie night.
Yes, so see you on Sunday.
And it's your birthday.
Yeah, it is my
Oh,
birthday.
happy
on
early
Sunday.
birthday.
Yay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'm super excited, guys.
Um,
Thank you so much.
all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Club
Bye.
PK. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.